And they can just join in if they need to. Let's give it a minute or so. So basically you'll need, if you're in a chair, you'll need a chair. We are going to do most of it seated. So if you've got a bolster, or if you're on the floor or on a yoga mat or whatever, make sure you've got lots of cushions to support you, because we will need to be nice and upright, but we're going to be quite a while. So you need to get yourself nice and comfortable. I want to give you a few little exercises in a minute, just to help you sort of sit for a longer period of time, because obviously on the practices we've only done sort of like 5 minutes or so, 5-10 minutes. So we're going to be here for a little bit longer than that. So we need to make sure we're nice and comfortable in a seated position. So we're 2 minutes in, so I think it's just you and me, Jen. The stalwarts are here. So we're going to start off just by releasing any tension in our backs, because we are sitting up. We need to make sure that our hips are nice and released. We need to also make sure that, you know, we've got nice spines nice and comfortable, and the shoulders as well, because obviously we're going to be sitting up for a while. So we're going to start off just by doing a little bit of a seated cat-cow. So if you bring your hands onto the front of your knees, what we're going to do is just pull the spine, or pull the chest forward. So you draw the shoulders back. So you've got to lovely bring the shoulders together, get the chest nice and open, and then we're going to just come the other way. So we're going to just drop the head down between your arms, just pull the belly back towards the spine, drop the head down towards your chest to get a little bit stretch in the shoulders, and then coming forward again, just draw the shoulder blades together, and then the opposite way. So what we're trying to do here is just get a little bit of movement in the spine, just to make it a little bit more comfortable for coming into a nice seated position for a while. Just do a few of those, just to get the spine moving. Again, it's nice to use the breath if you can. So as you bring that chest forward, maybe take a nice breath in through the nose, and then as you breathe out, just drop the head down. So just do a few more of these, just to get a little bit of movement in. Maybe one more. And then coming into a nice upright position. So again, just take a few moments just to check into how you're feeling. Again, it's nice to have the eyes shut, because you can just maybe scan your body a little bit, noticing any areas that feel a little bit tight. And just release the shoulders a little bit first of all. Just roll the shoulders around up towards your ears and then back. And again, just get a little bit of movement into those shoulders. And then we're going to roll the shoulders the other way. So you're drawing them around the back, up towards your ears, and then rolling them forward. Hear any noises? It's my shoulders going crackety crack. Wonderful. Then let's just leave those shoulders as they are. We're going to just work on the hips a little bit, because obviously we're sitting cross-legged if you are on the floor, so it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. So we're going to bring the feet flat on the floor with the knees bent. Probably not wearing the right colour trousers, so you can't really see very well, but we're going to just windscreen wipe those knees from side to side to get a little bit of movement in those hips. You'll thank me after this, trust me. It's nice to get a little bit of movement there. And then we're going to just bring your left foot just across the front of you, as if you're coming into a cross-legged position. And we're going to just draw your right leg in. We're just going to circle those ankles a little bit. Lots of cracks and creaks coming from my feet, which is fine. And then we're going to swap legs. So let's bring the right leg down. Bring that in front of you. Just bring that left leg in. Just circle those ankles a little bit. Wonderful. And then let's bring that foot down, coming into either a cross-legged position. If you are actually on, hi Louise, if you are on a chair, obviously it's still nice to do those little bits of movements just to open up the hips a little bit, just to make it a little bit more comfortable to come into an upright position. So we can just draw ourselves now nice and tall. So again, try to make sure you're tilting that pelvis, so your bum's sticking out a little bit, which allows you to come into that nice upright position. Okay, so hands can rest on your knees or bring it into your lap. So we're going to take a few moments just to see how we're feeling. So close those eyes down. Maybe scan your body from top to toe. So just starting with your head, use the breath to see if you can bring your awareness to any areas that are feeling a little bit tight, a little bit uncomfortable. Checking out your jaw, shoulders, your neck, your hips, your knees, then your feet and ankles. Just let that breath just guide you into a nice relaxed setting. So we're just going to breathe in and out. Just let your breath just do what it needs to do. Just gently breathing in and out. So we're not taking any control at all. We're just letting it breathe its own way. I'm going to bring a little bit of conscious control into that breath. So we did this on the first day. So we're going to let the breath come in and out, and then we're going to see if we can bring a conscious control of it. So we're going to just bring the awareness into not observing the breath, but actually making the breath go in and out a little bit more. So we're going to do 5 breaths of a conscious breath, 5 breaths of just unconscious breathing. So just let your breath come into whatever rhythm it is at the moment. Again, close those eyes down if you can. Now, if we can just take a little bit of conscious control of that breath, so just really almost feel you're actually controlling it. So you're basically bringing the belly into the air, into the belly, to the lungs, and releasing. We'll do 5 breaths like this. And your conscious breath, just let your breath go into its own rhythm. Just let it do its own thing. Bring that conscious control back into it. 5 breaths. So just being really aware, bringing that control into the in-breath and the out-breath. Very subtle difference. Releasing that control, just let your breath come into its own natural rhythm. Maybe notice where you're noticing that breath. It's from the nostrils, the belly, the chest. Not trying to change it, we're just observing it. One last conscious control. So again, just taking that control for 5 breaths. And then we've done 5, just releasing that control. Just let your breathing come into its own natural. So now maybe scan your body again, noticing any areas. We've been sitting here for about 5 minutes, so if you need to move, that's fine. So you move your head, you roll those shoulders round, and maybe do those windscreen wipe with the knees. Just release the feet, maybe move the knees from side to side. Circle those ankles around a little bit if you need to. And then when you're feeling comfortable coming back into a nice upright position, again, just reassess position. Nice and long in the spine, just drawing the shoulders back and down, opening up the chest. Okay. We're going to come into a full yogic breath now. So with this one, we're going to just bring our awareness to 3 different parts of our breath. So we're going to bring the hands just first of all onto your lower ribs. We're going to see if we can just isolate this one particular area. So we're not going to bother too much about any sensations we can feel up here. It's just here. So it might just be a very subtle type of sensation. It's also quite nice to notice when you're breathing in, maybe your fingertips come apart a little bit, just so you, even if they don't, even if you can't actually get the sensation as such, even just parting the fingers will allow you to bring that awareness to that particular part. So make sure you relax the shoulders down by your side, sorry, your elbows down by your side. And the hands just on the lower ribs. Let's see if we can isolate that lower rib area. So just breathing into that area. Not move any other part, just that lower area. And release that control of the lower ribs. Nice deep breath in and out. So we're going to bring our awareness to this thoracic area. So just bring the hands just across the front of your chest. And again, we're just going to isolate this area now. So don't worry too much about the lower ribs or the upper ribs. Just see if you can bring that focus into expanding into this thoracic area. So again, just close the eyes down, relax your elbows by your side. Focus on there. Releasing that breath. Let your breath come back to normal. Maybe roll the shoulders round. Make a little bit of movement in. We do the third part. So this is the breathing into the clavicle area. So again, this is a little bit more of a subtle one. You can't really get too much of a sensation here, but you do find the shoulders rise and fall a little bit here. So just bring your hands just to where your collarbones are. Relax your elbows down by your side. Again, just make sure you've got a nice upright position. And again, just see if you can breathe into the clavicle area. So breathe into the upper chest. Again, it's a very subtle movement. Slowly let your breath come into its normal rhythm. And roll the shoulders round. You need to do a little bit of movement again. If you're getting a little bit stiff, that's fine. Just maybe do the knees again, maybe stretch the legs out, give them a bit of a waggle. So we'll do the full 3-part breath now all together. So again, nice and comfortable. If you do need to shift position, maybe come into your knees or whatever, feel free to do so. If you're on a chair or on the floor, maybe coming onto a chair just to get yourself a little bit more comfortable, because if you're uncomfortable when you're doing breath work, you're really going to struggle to do it. So it does take a lot of practice. I mean, in terms of breath work, we normally recommend probably doing one type of breath work for maybe about a month on a daily basis just to get the hang of it, because there's a lot more nuances to it than what we've done in this sort of like 2 weeks of practice. So it's good to maybe pick one and then just see if you can sort of, you know, sort of perfect it in about a month, but a month doing it and then just going on to another one. Anyway, so just get yourself nice and comfortable. So we're going to do that 3-part breath. We're going to breathe it into the belly, the thoracic area, and then the clavicle. And then as we breathe out, releasing from the clavicle, thoracic, lower ribs. Okay, so just take your time with this one. You may want to go a bit faster. You may want to go a bit slower, but just do whatever pace feels good for you. Again, so just bring the elbows into the side, relax your shoulders. Again, just start really filling that lower area with air. And when that feels full, you can bring a little bit more air into the middle. And finally, in the top. As you release it, just release just as slowly as you're breathing in from the top. Middle. If you find you're getting breathless, you may need to go a little bit faster because you may be going a little bit too slow. Everybody has their own pace of breathing, as we found out on the first day. One more. And then you complete with that breath. And just rest your hand on your thigh or in your lap. Breath to come into its normal rhythm. Just check into how you're feeling. So again, scan your body. Notice how your head feels. And being aware of any tension you're holding in your body, whether you are tensing up or whether you're actually feeling a lot more relaxed. Maybe notice if your breath is a little bit more shallow than it was when you started, or whether you're feeling quite deep because you feel a bit breathless. So it's almost just to gauge how you're actually feeling. The more relaxed you are, the slower the breath will be, because we tend to use less energy when we're more relaxed. Breathwork is a meditation in its own right, so it's nice just to pause and just be aware of how you're feeling. And again, maybe do some stretching out if you feel you need to. Roll those shoulders, again move those legs if you need to, if you find you're really comfortable on your feet. Back off those legs. Circle those ankles, maybe circle the wrists. Again, come back into a lovely upright position. So I'm going to do a nice alternate nostril breathing. So what we tend to do with breath, though, we start off quite gentle, and then we build up a little bit of heat and it stimulate the breath a little bit more, and then we bring it back down again. So we sort of bring a little bit more heat into the body, we bring a little bit more energy in, and then we're going to release it down again. Okay. So with alternate nostril breathing, it's good to maybe use your arm across your body just to support your elbow. So with this one, we're going to just close off one of the nostrils as we breathe. Okay, so we're going to take a nice deep breath in, and then a deep breath out. And then we're going to block one nostril, breathe back in through one nostril, breathe back out through that one, then close that one off and do the same on the other side. So we're breathing in or out and then in from, start again, so breathing out and then in from one nostril and then blocking and breathing the other one. Okay, so what I tend to do is bring my finger onto between my eyebrows, if you can do that, or you can just have your fingers floating, it doesn't really matter. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in, deep breath out, back in again. So we're going to block off one of your nostrils, breathe out through the other one. Back in through the same one. Block that one off, breathe out through the other one. Back in. Block that one, breathing out. Back in. Continue breathing out through one. Back in. Closing. One more on each nostril. And let your breath come back to its normal rhythm. Bring your arms by your side. Again, just checking into how you're feeling. Checking into the depth, the pace of your breath. Noticing your heart beating. Again, maybe if you need to move, just get yourself nice and settled again. Take a few moments. Okay, so we're going to bring a little bit more heat in the body now, so we're going to make this a little bit more stimulating. So we're going to do something called a Kapalbhati breath, which I think we did about 2 or 3 days ago. Now this really is really good for building heat in the body. It really oxygenates your body, so it's really, really stimulating, really invigorating. So what we're going to do is pump your breath in and out. So because it's can be quite tricky, well not tricky to do, it can be quite can be more advanced for sort of people who've not done it before. We're just going to do 10 pumps. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in, and then we're going to pump the belly. So imagine you're pumping the breath in and out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and out. And we do it for 10 because you can get a little bit breathless for it, a bit lightheaded. Then let the breath settle. We're going to leave it a couple of minutes, and we're going to do it back in again. Pump it in and out. So again, it's called a breath of fire basically. So we're just going to try to get a little bit of heat into the belly. If you've had your tea, it's probably not the best thing to do. Probably not a really good time. Good first thing in the morning, but probably not now. But it's quite nice just to use it, just to get that bit of stimulation going. And then we're going to do a little bit more of a calming breath. So we're going to breathe in. So we're going to do 3 rounds of 10 pumps. So we're going to have a little gap between each set, so just to let you recalibrate yourself a little bit. And then we're going to see if we can go a little bit more, up to maybe 15. But obviously if you feel comfortable with just 10, that's absolutely fine. If 10 is a little bit too much, just do 5, because it is a little bit challenging for the first few times you've done it. It does take a lot of time. The idea is we're trying to get to about 45, 50. So if you do it a lot, you can reasonably easily do it. But if you're suffering from a cold, or you're just not used to that type of breath, just be really careful of how that feels. So just do what feels right. If you find 5 is enough, just do 5. If you can get to 10, that's equally fine. So we're going to do 5 or 10 in whatever feels comfortable for you for about 3 times. Okay, so again, nice and tall. Drop the shoulders down the back. So we're going to take a deep breath in, deep breath out. So we're going to breathe back in, and I'm going to pump that breath in and out. Breathe in and out. Let yourself settle. This is quite a fast moving breath, that one, so I hope you managed to keep up. Take a few moments, just allow everything to settle. So you might find that your heart's beating a little bit faster now. Okay, so if you're feeling ready to do the next one, we're going to do another 10 pumps, or 5 if that feels more comfortable for you. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in, breath out, breath back in, and then pump that. Back in, let your breath settle. Okay, so again, just take a couple of moments here. Notice how you're feeling. A bit out of breath, that's fine. Just maybe take it a little bit easy, maybe miss the third one we're going to do. But if you're happy just do maybe 5, it is quite challenging. As I said, if you've got particularly got blown up nose, it's probably not advisable to do this one. If you're feeling ready, we're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the nose, back in, and then pump away. Breathe back in, and then let your breath settle down. Good. Just checking into your body. So now you've done that stimulating breath, notice how your breath is. Is it still quite short, or is it nice and slow and relaxed? Is your heart beating? How are you feeling in your body? Feeling a little bit more alert? Sometimes makes my heartbeat a lot stronger. We are actually oxygenating the body quite well, so the heartbeat is pumping because obviously the oxygen is going to be floating around your body. Okay, if you need to do any movements to release any tension from sitting, that's fine. So again, maybe stretch those legs out, maybe move the hips, maybe stretch into the shoulders. The breath coming to its normal rhythm. The golden thread breath now. So with this breath, we're going to breathe in through the nose, and then we're going to part the lips. And just imagine you're blowing out a thread of tension or anxiety. So it's also called a candle breath or a feather breath. So imagine you've got a little candle flame, you're just trying to blow over it. It's like making it flicker. Or it's like a frond of a feather. It's almost like blowing on a cup of tea as well, but it's a really long out breath. So the out breath is a lot longer than your in breath. And that just calms all those nerves down. It's quite a nice, easy breath to do. Just take a few moments. You're feeling ready, we're going to breathe in through the nostrils, part the lips, and just take a nice, long, slow breath out. Continue with that breath. One more breath in. One more breath out. Again, as always, just let your breath come into its normal rhythm. Just notice how that breath feels. Does it become more shallow? Is it quite deep? Is it quite fast? Is it slow? And this is unconscious. We're just looking at our breath, seeing how that feels, how you're feeling in your body. Are you feeling more relaxed? Mind focused on the breath, or is it wandering off into tangents? So we'll do our final breath now. So this is the tummo breath we did about 2 days ago. So you may not have actually caught up with this one, but I'll explain what we're trying to do. So tummo breath is it's a really lovely breath work to do. So what we're trying to do is almost hyperventilate a little bit. So we're trying to get sort of a lot of oxygen into the body. So we're going to take a really, so we're using a 3-part breath again we did at the start. So we're going to breathe all the way into the lungs, really quite not fast as such, but we're going to be quite a strong breath in. And it's also a strong breath out, but as we're breathing out, so as we're breathing in fully, we're going to breathe out, but not all the way. So we're not going to release, we're not going to empty the lungs completely. We're going to have a little bit of a spare there. So we're going to breathe in fully, and we're going to breathe out. Breathe about sort of 80% out. Breathe back in and out. So what we're trying to do is build up a reserve of oxygen in the lungs. So we're going to do that breath in, that breath out for about 30 times. So the more you do it, the more you feel more oxygenated. You might start feeling a little bit lightheaded, a little bit fuzzy in the head, which is perfectly normal. If it feels really uncomfortable for you and you do not like it, just come back into your normal rhythm. So don't worry too much, but it is a really, really positive breath to do. So we're going to breathe in and out for 30. And then we're going to breathe in one last time. And as we breathe out, we're going to just empty the lungs, but maybe about 50%. So we're not going to totally empty the lungs. We need to have some oxygen in those lungs. And we're going to hold that out breath. So we're going to start off by holding it for about 30 seconds. If that's too long for you, you're more than welcome to breathe in before that, but I'll time it. Then we take a nice deep breath in to get all the oxygen back in the body. 15 seconds. And then release. And I'm going to do that breath over again. So breathing in for 30, breathing in and out. So fully into the lungs, releasing it, not all the way. So you're going to build up that reserve of oxygen, because when we hold the out breath, the oxygen supply will deplete. We're going to bring carbon dioxide into the blood or into the system. And then we're going to take all that breath back in again and then let everything settle. So it's a really good for oxygenating the whole of your body. It really helps increase your lung capacity, and it's incredibly calming on the body. So you might feel a little bit dizzy, you might feel heat. It does build heat in the body, but then at the end of it, we're going to just relax. So we're going to do the 30 breaths in, 30 breaths out, hold, breathe in, and then carry on again. We're going to do that 4 times. So what I'm going to do is, the first time we do the retention, we'll do it for 30 seconds, and then I'll bring it up to about 40, then maybe a little bit more. And then the last time we do it, I'll just let you breathe or come into your own breath whenever you feel like, and then we're going to just settle. So this is a really good one to do on the floor. So if you want to get yourself nicely laid down on the floor, it's probably a lot easier to do, because then we can just settle down afterwards. So make sure you're nice and warm. We've got a blanket over you. Give you a couple of minutes to get yourself flat on the floor. So again, the main thing is trying to keep a little bit of oxygen into those lungs as we're doing the breath in and breath out. But it's going to be quite a strong breath in, strong breath out. So it's not passive at all. It's quite a strong one. So when you're feeling settled, just relax your shoulders. So when you're feeling ready, so we're going to breathe in, breathing in and out. In, out. Keep that breath going in and out. Just draw the energy in. And use your own breath, your own timing. You may breathe faster or slower than me. That's absolutely fine. But we're going to breathe in all the way into the belly, upper ribs, and then release. So make sure you really fill that belly up with air. Then we're releasing just about 80%. So you've got a little bit left in the tank. Keep breathing back in again. And then release. Keep that going. Breathing in. Do the last 5 together. So breathing in and release. Breathing in and release. Breathing in and release. In and release. One last time, breathing all the way into the lungs to the top. And as you relieve that, breathe out, just breathe about 50% out. So you've got something in your lungs. I'm going to hold this breath. You need to breathe in before you get to the end of the 30 seconds. That's absolutely fine. Maybe be aware of any tingling or sensations of warmth. Take a nice deep breath in. Hold that in breath now. 15 seconds. And release. Okay, start that breath back in again. We're keeping the oxygen flowing. So breathing in and out. Remember, don't release all the breath. Keep some in there. Breathing in. Putting up the oxygen supply. So you might start feeling a little bit lightheaded now, which is absolutely fine. Just listen to your body. Okay, last 5 together. Breathing in and release. Breathing in, all the way in and release. All the way in. Release. 2 more. Breathing in and release. 1 more. Breathing all the way in. And then release, maybe half that breath. Leave something in that tank. You'll need that. Relax everything now. Close the eyes. Be aware of your heartbeat. Be aware of any sensations, tingling, heat. Nice deep breath back in again. Hold that in breath for 15 seconds. And release. Straight back into another round. Another 2 more rounds to go. So breathing in and out. In. It's your own time. Breathing all the way in and release. Last 5 together, breathing all the way in and release. And in, all the way up the lungs and breathing out. Breathing all the way in and out. It's 2, breathing in and out. 1 more, breathing all the way in and release halfway. Everything settle, relax every part of your body. Tuning into any sensations, feeling the weight of your body resting against the floor. Don't forget, if you need to take a breath in, that's fine. We're going to hold it maybe for a few more seconds, if you can. Take that breath in now, breathing all the way in. Hold that for 15 seconds. And release. 1 more round, breathing in. And release. Breathing in. And again. Be aware of all the sensations you can feel. Tingling, heat. I start feeling a bit lightheaded, that's absolutely fine. If it feels comfortable for you, that's fine. Last 5 together, breathing in and release. In and release. In and release. In and release. One more, breathing in and release halfway. I'm going to leave you to breathe or have that out breath for as long as you feel comfortable. I'm not going to time this, so as soon as you feel necessary to breathe back in again, hold that breath for 15. Then release that. Just let your body come into its own natural rhythm. Notice your sensations, notice any heat, tingling, any buzzing, anything. Haven't taken your breath in, now take it in, now breathe all the way in. Hold that in breath for 15 seconds. And then release. Just let your breath come into its normal, natural rhythm. Just observe that breath. Even notice you're hardly breathing at all. Starting to bring a little bit of movement in. Wiggling the tips of your fingers, the tips of your toes. You're stretching your body out along your mat. If you want to stay down on the floor for a little bit longer, that's absolutely fine. When you feel ready, just slowly ease yourself up to a nice comfortable seated position. A few moments, as we did at the start, just to scan your body, noticing any areas that feel tight, if any. Noticing your breath. Connect our fingertips to the earth beside us. You just take a nice long last deep breath in, bring the arms above your head in prayer. The hands down. The thumbs on the breastbone, bring the head down towards those fingertips. Thank you as always for joining me in this practice. Till next time, namaste. Well, thank you for those people that join me online tonight. I will be recording, sorry, I haven't recorded this, so what I will do, I will send you a copy of it. Obviously, you practice in your own time. There's quite a few different techniques. As I would suggest, if you are going to choose one technique, I would definitely practice it for about a month just to get the hang of it, because there's a lot of stuff going on when you're actually doing the breath work. So the more you practice it, the more you'll feel the benefits of it. And it's nice to be able to just get one under your belt and then move on to the next one. It's quite nice to do as a nice session as well. So I will let you go. I've kept you for an hour, so hopefully you enjoyed the practice. I'll be interested in, obviously, if people are going to be catching up. I know Lynn's just joined us now, so I know people are going to be catching up throughout the day and for the next few days as well. So any comments would be really appreciated. And until I see you again soon, take care. Have a lovely evening. Bye.